Hello and welcome to the Punters show on not a bad day in Sydney. Mark Lamborn, Glenn Pollard, Matt Taylor, hello everyone.
Matt, we're here, pretty quiet time of year, isn't it, Dal?
Oh, I suppose it becomes that. We come off 10 races, I suppose.
That was feckin'. That program on Saturday is just going to provide lots of angles for the future. And the greatest Betfair riders I've ever seen.
Which horse? On some horses.
Sense and Reason. $65 last price match.
I got matched at 70s.
And from the stable that we've been seeing that they haven't really gone all that well.
Yeah, but
it
for a horse that drew where it drew,
it was hard to price longer than 14s.
You could have said I wouldn't have been surprised to see a horse drawing barrier 1 and that happened. Yeah. But for a horse drawn wide like that, it just
I know we talk about
Waller
Betfair riders, they just got none. But I kind of talk about the ones in the real and the hard.
Real in the market. Yeah, this is almost.
I'm not talking about the horses.
That was almost like a what's Gates' horse? Diamond Drill in the
150.
Yeah, it got out to 100. It's just almost like it was the horse that everybody forgot.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh, hang on, you're still in the race.
And I could see Sense and Reason. And a talented horse, Mark. And it to me, it looked like it would rubber stamp itself like 14 to 1 in that type race, 14 to 1. And but like if someone said I had it 9s or if I had 25s, I'd say it doesn't matter what price range you have it. If your price races, everyone's on it on the fair.
Well, obviously not.
No, obviously not. No, exactly.
The old fair keeps things fair, doesn't it? You gotta love the fair.
You
love the fair, man.
Fair's created a lot of talk and excitement.
Well, also the fact that we had the fair breakdown last Thursday.
Yeah, we were.
And
fair.
You've never seen a happier man than Horry at Warrnambool.
And what about Sean Bartholomew's man?
Never seen an unhappier man.
Not one bet on the whole day on the ground.
Is that right?
Never had one bet. So Sean, he can't find his way home without the fair.
Is that right?
Yeah. Wouldn't know what day it was without the fair, Sean. Can't you, Shawnee?
Well, there was the debate, I think, that came up of that. Would we be better out without the fair? It's an
interesting debate.
Yeah, like would we?
Do we get more people back on the track?
Yeah. Do you get chances of better prices because it's not all fair dependent?
Do some of the hot pros that have eked a good living the last 10 years running off the fair?
They have to recalibrate.
Yeah. And what happens with that recalibration?
Yeah, it'd be a very interesting setup. I know that there were bookies. I was told there were bookies at Warrnambool last Thursday. They were backing things back to win $200 because they usually pinch on the fair and they couldn't do it, so they were betting with other bookies, backing things to win $200.
They were keeping it very fair.
Yeah. But even still, the fact that $200 business, even though it's only $200 business, is going on the ring. That's a start, because from what we saw on Saturday at Rosehill, there wasn't a lot of $200 business with each other.
Wasn't many there, was it?
No, well, we've lost. We had 3 out of bookies who must have just decided to
Sandro's still away because he takes Hawkesbury.
Mullins didn't turn up, and neither did Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
right.
So G. Clark out the back.
He was on his own.
Wally on his own boat.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Wow.
Because I spent the whole day in the ring doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Beautiful. All right, before we get into Rosehill, man of the match, and it's appropriate that it's in Brisbane, and it was John Mack who just... I
think it was B. Shin, wasn't it? But anyway, John
B.
Mack.
Shin, yeah, B. Shin, John Mack, whatever you want, including a 20 to 1 winner, Blueberry old mate, and...
Hasn't he got a finish on it, that horse?
Who?
Isn't it the horse that plows on the Gold Coast? Blueberry Hill or whatever its name is?
I don't
I just threw away 20 to 1
Did it win the counter-attack race? Was that the one?
Yeah, won the 2-year-old race, but didn't it win the 2-year-old race at the Gold Coast?
Something similar?
Possibly.
All right, no one knows.
Got a lot of shitty.
Exactly, but anyway, John Mack flying, up and running, and remember we're doing Brisbane race speed profiles now as well.
Little thing about Shinny just diving in there. He was on retro because I'm our retro man.
Yes, you are.
You're our eye in the sky.
He's lounging up now at the track.
He's on the lounge?
He's on the lounge. It's amazing how fit at the track looks compared to the other two.
Yeah.
Even though at the track's not that fit, but he looks cut as on racing retro.
Why don't they fly out the track up to Doomben?
Why didn't they?
Well, no, you have to drive.
Shinny's what's he doing?
What he was wearing?
Yeah, you can buy his silks for his bum show.
Yeah.
Up to 2,600. So try and get behind if anyone's got any money. I wouldn't say it's. It's just what it is. Good luck to Shinny, but I had to love Shinny. You gotta love Shinny. He said it's for the Jockey's Trust and the prostrate.
That's one of the kids
Shinny,
you have when
don't
you're
ever go to
down.
the doctor enough to get your prostrate cut out because they'll take something out of your ear. It's actually the prostate. A lot of people prostrate,
A lot of people say prostrate. Yeah. A lot of people don't get Australia pronounced all that well either.
Anyway, shitty.
Anyway.
Mate, I know you didn't get through much school, but you're a nice kid and you're a fucking
All right, well,
superstar,
He's
right?
at the peak of his power.
yeah, absolutely. We'll have a bit of a
Unbelievably at the peak of his power.
we'll have a little bit more of a chat about Brisbane in part 2. But firstly, to Rose or to this part now. Oh, Matt, before we do that, social media. You just threw out what people want to talk about. And we've come back with some pretty good topics with. Which I'd imagine have grown since I left the cafe at about 9 o'clock, but a couple of good things were coming through at about that time for us.
Yeah.
Our little talkback email segment.
Yeah, so last Monday afternoon, just after our show, the news sort of started to get out that Kenny Callender had resigned from the
Which we'll
Telegraph.
talk about in part 2, yes.
Yeah, so sort of people want to talk about racing censorship. So certainly we'll be touching on that one. Not many places can talk about that.
No, that's a fair point, and we'll get into that a little bit more later. But a couple of things there.
Don't you need to talk about racing non-censorship, because it's easier to talk about what's not censored than what is censored.
No, yeah, exactly right.
There's a very, very interesting, I don't know how to find it, but a post on a forum that alluded to the racing media undergoing certain treatment at the hands of racing.
Brainwashing. Yeah, exactly. It's
Did you
very
see that?
good. Yeah, very good. Very good. Anyway, we'll talk about that in part 2. But yeah, a few topics come up and a few headings that have come up.
Rose Hill put some jump outs on due to the wet weather, and they were obviously not barrier trials, and there's a little bit of talk, can't they just be...
Right, well, we'll talk about that in part 2, Matt, so we don't take away everything we've got from part 2.
Okay.
Can we just,
Oh, you wanted to know some of the topics?
No, well, that's the topics, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're the topics, they're things we'll talk about in part 2. Let's talk about part 1. Rose Hill.
Rose Hill, what a beauty that was. I haven't seen Rose Hill play that radically rotten on the inside, against inside barriers, against horses on the inside. It was just a good old-fashioned, that to me was Rose Hill sort of dead 4.5, brutally hard on the inside, whereas I expected, a recovering track to certainly have aspects of that, but to not be so firmly in the outside.
It didn't look in appearance as a heavy track, but the times are as slow collectively as we've probably seen anywhere. Like, I mean, you're talking about 1.7s for 1100 and 1.13s. But did you feel like it was a real heavy track?
It was a slugfest.
No. What do we say? It's just that renovation, I suppose, that makes it.
The barrier's in the right position. Winter. It's just winter.
Yeah, but it was
winter racing.
Very, very sloggy, slow times.
We've got Scone again this week.
Scone.
Winter racing.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about the times. It looked an honest meeting. It didn't look a horribly rain-affected meeting. It didn't look like a wet track meeting.
It didn't look like wet track failures.
No.
Yeah, they weren't getting beaten 38 lengths.
No, there was some resistance there, and I don't know what the resistance was.
But as we've said, we've seen that once there's been the verdi draining and all that sort of thing.
I guess it's a renovation thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it still makes it, as you said, tough, hard, fit horses that are required. Anyway, Skyclad got away with it in the first, and Stravago was up on pace.
Gerald Ryan, fresh. Like, no trial Gerald Ryan is better than anything you ever see, isn't it? And I keep on bloody ignoring it. Like, that horse, if there was one horse I was cranky about all meeting not missing, it was it, because
BF Dulles straight on the bunny.
No, there he is, Uncle Gord.
There's Gord.
Sleepover.
Yeah.
There he is, Uncle Gord.
Up he gets.
Has Michelle dropped in the train station.
If he catches a train like that, he'll be thrown in for vagrancy, won't he?
Young Thomas isn't much better.
He's looking a bit lame, boy. He's
been parading poorly.
Michelle didn't give us a cute wave, so she's happy to get rid of the brother as well. I like my Michelle wave. She's a sexy missus, your missus. They're a lucky man.
Anyway, back to Gerald Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, that horse went well in the Voilia race, last preparation off no backing. Resumes with a tongue tie, fresh, no trial, gun booked.
Got my Michelle wave.
It's all good.
Yeah, you got the Michelle Wade. She's got Gord in the car now. It's all right. He's okay.
She's packaged the beast.
I hope she locked the door.
One of your bloody sons. Is he your only son yet?
Yeah, he's my only son.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Gord, as you were saying, apart from Gord, Skyclad, all that.
What about Stravago?
well,
there's something.
Well, a
if we
little
sort
bit of Betfairitis late, and then just retired out of the race from the top of the
something
straight.
has to have gone wrong there, doesn't it? Have we got any reports?
He looks a nice horse, but like I don't know, the whole marketplace seemed to be against him. You're walking the track and going, "Oh, what about Trevigo here?"
I don't know if you've got a theory on it, but he's a leader that doesn't jump well. And like last start, he eventually led, but it took him ages to get there. So that's a bit of an issue. Is that some sort of...
because
It could be a little Matt Pearl.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Matt, because we've talked about how slow the times are, and the last 600s aren't as tragic as the overalls.
Yes, okay.
So there's a suggestion that the first section of the race
Might be
wetter,
gone. Yeah.
and if you've done a bit of work in the first section of the race, you're in trouble.
Yes, that could be. We might find that on examination when I sit down with Vince tomorrow to assess the times
But
of the day.
alarm bells straight away in race 1 when you see Lychea sits 4 deep without cover, then proceeds to 3 deep without cover on the speed, and there's Savannah Rose 4 deep without cover, coming around her, and they run second and fourth. So
that is alarm bells, isn't it? They picked up pretty early enough there.
well, I was at Flemington, and I looked as they went across the line in the first. I looked at the barriers and I went, 11 beats 9 beats 7 beats 10.
Ooh.
And that's why I was amazed that 4 races later, barrier 11 is allowed to trade at $65. Because,
You get to watch the Sydney races when you're down there doing the betting on Melbourne?
Yeah, I sort of,
Got a little TV there, you can poke it.
well, I just jump down and run across and have a look at it. But, see, then you get race 2, which is a staying race, and everyone forgets because...
Just the saving ground.
Saving ground is important in a staying race.
Well, it
but
it
it
takes away the advantage.
It also too from the stuff that from Rustic Melody's point of view, it almost did get run down by a horse that looked like it was getting a bit
High
thin too.
Midnight had a bit of Betfairitis late in that race, $12.
Yeah, it was a bit sick on the fair.
It was a bit sick on the fair.
And the second horse was pretty unlucky, wasn't it? Rustic Melody. She just got strung up and sort of shuffled back.
I don't want to back those type of chrysalis stones. Not chrysalis stones. It's hard to explain what I'm talking about.
We'll come back to you.
It was in the orange colours, so but they're just the.
Yeah, and so then you get the next race, which is Capernic. The second from the outside beats the outside barrier, and it's sort of all hidden because unless you're paying attention to the barriers, they don't look like they're that wide on the track. Well, Capernic certainly came wide.
Capernic didn't look like any possible chance of the 600 and the 400 looked tomorrow.
Well, there was a tweet about Capernic being very big on the fair at that point you were talking about.
Oh, was it?
There was a huge amount of money for $13 or something.
It had the feel up until about, I think Sean started taking about $5.50, but up until that point, it had a feel that it was being Brascoed in the betting, didn't it?
Now, Alberto Magic, can you explain it winning, mate?
Well, okay, there's nothing in the field, right?
I can see some.
Religify's got an issue.
Yeah.
Marwood's in the Shitsville.
Yeah.
It's all a bit after the race, though.
Yeah, it's all a bit after the race. I know.
Before the race, every person thought, "What's Alberto Magic doing first up at 1200? Now he's going to win."
Yeah, but it was hard to get rid of. Like it was,
Yeah.
How did it parade?
Ordinary.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a rocket.
Yeah, it's plenty of improvement.
Yeah, well, it's the only horse that's got any hope from that race, isn't it?
Poor old Ernie, he's rising 10.
Yeah,
And
he's
the
the main
market
chaser.
every week.
And
Well,
turbulent,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. There's they had to make them up. Moral victory. Moral victory?
Jimmy.
Maximilian.
Yeah.
So they're all made up.
Well, look, I did the race. We all did the race when we declared private secretary and yada yada yada. Then private secretary doesn't run.
Yeah.
Then I'm left marking Alberto Magic 2-1 favourite.
Done a good job, Market 2.
Well, it was like you couldn't get that keen on Religify, could you? You're going, okay, well, here's his chance to improve.
Plus 200,000 or 1,200, yeah.
But he just didn't have he didn't have a number first up that you grab and go, well,
you could I did forgive the first up because of inside, wet, dry track, but he probably needs rock hard.
Anyway, Alberto Magic went like a rocket. It's good to lose.
Yeah.
Going to Queensland, will it? Matt?
Do you think so?
I would think so.
Yeah, why not?
Alan Denham on the wet track, Glenn?
Alan Denham prays well on the wet track.
Yeah.
What is the key to that?
Alan Denham?
No, Alan. Yeah, you've mentioned Alan Denham wet tracks. What is the key to that? Before,
I don't know.
They're normally pretty similar
is
types.
Is it their breeding? Is it like they tend to be? Because Alberto Magic was a Guy Walter horse.
They do like. I don't know what it is. We saw the horse at Hawkesbury run so well again, about 19th up. What was he called on the bog? in the first.
Oh yeah, Punto Magic or whatever. Grand Punto, yeah.
Good train to follow.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking champion bloke.
But he's without saying what
Hates
it.
bookies.
He doesn't.
He likes punting. I like him.
Yeah, did.
Good guy.
But without giving it away, I mean, a lot of his horses are that similar wet track type, aren't they?
They are that single proto
Yeah.
type, but like Alberto Magic did a great job. Most underrated, especially by me. I couldn't have marked it 2-1.
So
No, well, I mean, I understand where you're like. I understand where you and lots of other people are coming from. It's like, hang on, this horse has seen 1,200 once,
And there it is, first up.
right? And now it's first up at 1,200.
Only won by 17 legs.
yeah, it's where Glenn.
We're kind of
One of the first chats to Glenn and I had on the race is that. Well, what do you think? Well, I can't possibly see. I think Glenn said I can't possibly see how Alberta Magic's this price. I said first it's about the one bit of clarity I've got in the race.
Yeah.
And then Glenn did the first chat after the race. He said, "Oh well, at least it didn't win too easily."
But that's racing, isn't it? Like you come to the next race, the mare's race, and here's a rock certainty thing. You know where the favourite's going to be, and it's eminently likeable. Certainly a very short price, and then the shit happens.
Yeah.
It's like,
then you've got. Then
good job, Winona. You jump off after when the barrier's open, down she goes. The horse goes around the field, and you could just see that it was causing havoc every which way.
And mainly to Bonnetet.
Yeah.
So how are we reading how the riderless horse, which was Matignon, how did that affect the Bonnetet? Did it? Oh, I thought early doors that it might have. Bonnetet looked like it was about to start really firing up, and maybe it gave it a bit of a bunny to settle down, but I'd maybe not as well too.
The answer is a pineapple, Dallas.
Well, one thing it definitely did is push it into the fence.
Why didn't it run straight in? I had a massive bet there on Floral Gold, place to run for. Why can't I just get that little bit of luck you need to get over the line? Like, if I'd been on...
there's no bad karma in that wishing like that.
It's like that.
If I was on Bonnetet Place and Floral Gold was the favourite, the unraced horse would have thrown it out to Leica.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Anyway, turning for home, you think, okay, Matignon's going wide. It's run off the track,
exactly,
it's going wide, and then it just works its way back across. It's just one of those things that says you don't have any control in racing. In fact, you don't have any control in life. We all like to think we've got control, right?
We're on a punt.
It's all an illusion of control.
Yeah.
We are riding around at 150 miles an hour.
Probably faster. I'd say.
Probably faster.
If we were 150, I'd say we'd all probably drop off. I'd say.
No, I'm just saying, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We'll stand still.
Yeah.
Jupiter goes a bit faster.
Jupiter. Big hello to Jupiter.
Yeah, so,
I've got nothing today. Honestly, I'm really struggling, Del.
We'll just keep pushing.
Right, well, I'm tipping that you tipped You'll Never.
Yeah, my numbers for sure.
There we go.
You said
There we
something
go.
on it.
I had Glenn on it, and
Prated great.
what a
Looked
fucking
good.
beauty.
Right,
it was.
it
And backing it was one of the nicest plays of my life, because at the 300, I could see there was Rain Affair, and I could see nothing was getting past Rain Affair. I could see the yellow and black out colours. I said, Rain Affair isn't going to win at 13.50, so that horse has to.
Yeah.
There it was.
And there it is.
There it was. That's
Yeah.
right. So,
And how good did Rain Affair go? It went terrific.
sort of. I mean, can someone explain to me the backing for Boomois?
We just kept coming, didn't it?
That's inexplicable. I'm going to
fucking
sit on Rain
understand it.
Affair, and because Rain Affair's not going to win, I am.
Yeah,
Was that what it was?
it might have been. Jay Innes.
Was Jay Ennis Jr. going to be chopped up by Rain Affair? You could lay 4.7 as they jumped.
Yeah.
And shorter in the run.
Yeah, and everyone had to go.
They all
Wow, and Medcourt was friendless, Dal?
Yeah.
Friendless?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
ran friendless?
Actually, both Blue Jackets. I think we made the
So how
comment
wasn't you never $10?
because Boomer was the one who just got it in craftiness.
How to get to 20s each way? Up to 20s each
I
way.
think you'll find Waller first up off less than 100 days
Yes.
is
Well, I call
his go-to play for good runs first up.
Mhm.
Less trials the better. One trial, sense and reason. Was
Less
the
than
same.
100 days.
Less than 100 day spell.
Quiet trial, one quiet trial.
One quiet trial.
Freshened up, close to top.
Yeah.
Generally, that type of horse is also a little bit back in distance too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
We've worked out the keys to racing, man.
That's just
That's
delivering
punching
pearls.
along here.
Pearl
Yeah.
up the pearl, eh?
That's right, I'm under
Trying to get rid of Lamborn. Next thing you'll be looking at the horses,
Yeah.
I'll be out.
That's like 100
Shave your fucking head, you can do every shot.
Well, 120 days, that extra month.
Not
or
if he
whatever.
gets part 2 in part 1.
It's no good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once he gets to 120, 150 days, that's a good spell. Probably maybe a little issue in there.
Okay.
I think maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Especially with these type of horses that they like keeping.
I can't remember exactly how many days You'll Never had off, but Sense and Reason was 91. Like 77 and it was 91.
Yeah, which I call it.
It's not long enough to go.
100 days the mark, is it? Let's make 100 the line.
Less than 100, under.
Okay.
And
with a quiet trial.
And if he looks
a single quiet trial.
That's actually
both horses are okay.
He had exactly 3 months off.
Who did?
You'll Never. Because I mean, if you divide the years, divide the year into a half. Anything more than a half a year is a long spell. Anywhere between a quarter of a year and a half a year is a spell, and anything less than a quarter of a year is a letter.
You just never stop learning on this show.
Or prattling.
What do we say? Well, we mentioned Boomer. None of us are surprised. Craftiness. Just
under the pump. And
second up 1200 to 13.
13 to 15. His stablemate did him no favours.
He was third.
Third up, yeah, because he had the race in Brisbane.
Oh, yeah, that was the interesting part. That the stablemate certainly gave him.
Yeah.
No, I thought they may have tried to team work together, but maybe as I said on Friday, that pride, arrogance that he has as a trainer, which can be a good thing. He was always like, this horse is a Stradbroke horse or a 1400 horse. So he's like, nah, this horse will be able to cop it. And I'll show you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. No,
well, at Randwick, the same thing happened. Rain Affair led like that.
Yeah.
But Craftiness was back on the inside.
Yeah, sucking up. Yeah, exactly.
You know, he was there. He still had to chase.
Yeah, but that was also 1200, not 1350. Yeah. And maybe even like whilst it was a more rain affected track, maybe an easier track as well too.
Yeah. It was this was clearly brutal for that sort of setup.
Yeah, so he's just done that, and of course he's a horse that's better on the dry, as is Medcourt. And as you're mentioning that, I think we put on the chat room is that can somebody with a blue jacket please enter the betting ring, because they were both unwanted, San Diego and Medcourt.
Yep.
So Medcourt, you raise an interesting question there. He runs so well on a track that's described as a soft 6 at Randwick. And then on a track that's a soft 7 at Rose Hill, he can't go.
No, exactly.
Can't go.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, Max Personal used to make a big thing of that, and there's certainly some merit in it that a wet track at Randwick is different from a wet track at Rose Hill.
Regardless of whether it's Randwick and Rose Hill, I mean, that wet track at Randwick's a different beast to the red track at Rose Hill. I mean, that was the gluggy drying out.
Talking about different beasts and wet tracks and problems we've had, Hawkesbury, the next 4 weeks, has got 4 meetings.
Yeah, Hawkesbury Tuesday, yeah.
But Hawkesbury 4 meetings, right? In 4 weeks, will we be able to handle it, Mark?
I don't know.
Because there's big sods and big holes,
Yeah.
like I said, and the jocks.
Yeah.
If they have some problems on the first day on Tuesday.
Well, do they move the rail out? Well, but then again, how far can you move the rail out?
I'm just worried about Hawkesbury at the moment.
Okay. All right, we'll find out tomorrow anyway.
That's right, you need to stay and play.
Yeah, I need to go to race meetings.
Yeah.
I know. I like them.
Beautiful. We did talk about the mayor's race. We didn't. I know we actually haven't spoke about this mayor's race. Solicit Glenn. Obviously, she got put to the sword, but she came back really, really looking well for Gerald Ryan.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Hawkesbury, Gerald Ryan.
Yeah, Gerald Ryan and Hawkesbury. Yeah.
Blake Ryan.
Right.
Who's Blake Ryan? The son.
Son.
I think from a little bit I've heard, he's sort of spending a little bit more time looking after the horses at Hawkesbury, and Gerald is Geralding.
Yep. Anyway, well, she looked terrific. Whatever it is, she agreed with Agnes Banks.
I tipped my Zaville. He's just on the fence the whole way. And
that's the weird thing. You see, he draws 4 of 9, and I go to watch the race, and I watch my Seville's colours fall straight onto the rails. And I'm going, I don't think that was meant to happen. But there's Calming Influence, Vergara, Solicit. So then my Seville's behind those, getting pushed onto the fence.
Yeah, and it never really got a run. I thought he had a lap full horse all the way on the straight. I thought it would have been.
Yeah, but it was pushed along for the first half of the race. He was niggling it for the first half of the race.
And that's
anyway, I unloaded on it, win and triple that bet on the place, and I don't know how it didn't place. That's punning.
And Jimmy on Perron was just red glovesing around. Jimmy
just didn't have a plan, did he? He was just like,
Guns drawn outside him, and then ended up pushing him out.
Gunn was the perfect ride in the race, and just want to lay the shit out of that horse next start. Because that Peace Force he'd had the gun run.
And it didn't look like Jimmy wanted to be there on Saturday, did he? He was a non-participant, Jimmy, on Saturday.
Jimmy.
And speaking of riders, Danny Beasley, your man that absolutely got lambasted by Mark on the show on Friday.
Why are we talking about D. Beasley on that program? on Saturday, and look, every ride he didn't have a clue. He was, you know, he was impatient as. You know, like he's obviously a rider with talent, but not fit for purpose at the moment.
He's an old man too.
Yeah, I am.
He's old, and he looks old too.
Right, does he? How old is he? He must be
mid
mid-30s?
Yeah, be mid-30s,
He
yeah.
looks every
You
millimetre.
said he was parading no good.
Is that right? Yeah, probably no good.
But anyway, look,
And you're good at Jockey Parade.
Yeah, I'm
you
very
know,
good.
when you see how many winners Jay Collett, T. Clark and B. Abdullah, like they nearly programmed. Kobe Jennings won and Jay Ford won, the outliers.
Jay Collett's a great rider this time of year, isn't he?
Yes,
This time of year.
this time of year. And we've
Been given track.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And we get
he's
excited
brave.
about him, and
Yeah,
we get
exactly.
excited about him, and start taking 6-4 about him, and it's really ugly.
No, no good to you then.
No. But yeah, as you said, I mean,
All
that's...
those Randwick bloody up the insides. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
He's number one rider in Sydney this time of year.
Yeah, but I think as you mentioned with Jay Collett, brave or being
Slow.
brave has never been an issue with him.
Rock sturdy, remember that?
Yeah.
Up the inside,
inside.
under the fence.
All right, there we go. Is it in the part one yet, Dan?
Oh, I think so, almost. So we
Silver
mentioned
Ball,
Jimmy
Red
Oak.
Ball,
Going on Silver Ball, that was
He ran
just
it great.
awesome.
That was peachy, and there was Dee Beasley taking off before acceptances on Singing Flame.
There he was. Steve Beasley with
Yeah,
And you know, another blue jacket just goes missing. Malice. It's just like
yeah.
it's not with us.
No, well, yeah, exactly
the
right.
Blue
And then-
Jackets have left us with the Blues.
Yeah, and Najum went and looked to go like a rocket, Mark.
Went like
didn't
a
it?
rocket.
She went fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
She go good.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like he took her across the rails, and he just sits down to ride her out, and she zooms away,
Yeah,
and
and
it's
then
like.
The little Federal, the first Blue Jacket contest, was 5 lengths away.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. And just never
winning chance.
And Eisen, you talk about probably the sickest of the day. Oh, Silver Ball was probably the best back runner of the day, wasn't it? It was there, and probably in the market. Eisenhower was just told to go well and truly root yourself, wasn't it?
Well, it's funny because 99 times out of 100 you'll say 1100, 1400, second up, you just get rid of it. But it's gay,
Yeah.
and it's going to sit. It's
Yeah.
drawn right,
Yeah.
all that sort of thing, and you go, well, no, this was okay.
Yeah.
But the market said, no, it's not.
No way. No, the market said there were two hopes. We'll take both.
Fantastic.
End of part one.
Thank you.